Hi, my loves. Welcome back to the Starscartel channel. Please excuse my bonnet. Low-key, I would just take it off, but I'm just like, okay. Your girl is having one of them days. I really want to talk to somebody, but I literally have not one person to call. I don't have no friends. I don't have nobody to talk to. So, you know what? I'm finna talk to y'all, okay? And I'm just going to go over this dream. Hopefully, it helps me and it helps you. Okay, the dream. In this dream, I was getting food for some cats. Okay, and my cats ate. And after my cats finished eating, I go to grab other cats who might be hungry. Okay, um, I find two. One is mature, like an older cat that is very angry, and the other one is very confused, and it's just kind of like really scared. And the confused and scared cat ate, but the angry cat was taken away because it was being too mean. Okay, so the scripture comes from Isaiah 13:3. I have commanded my dedicated soldiers. I have summoned my warriors, eager and bold to carry out my anger. Listen, the rumble on the mountains, that of an immense throng. Listen, the noise of kingdoms. Nations assembled. The Lord of hosts is mustering an army for battle. They come from far off country and from the end of the heavens, the Lord and the instruments of his wrath to destroy all the land. How for the day of the Lord it is near. As destruction from the Almighty it comes. Therefore all hands of fall helpless. The bows of young men fall from their hands. Every man's heart melts in terror. Pangs and sorrows take hold of them. Like a woman in labor, they rift. They look against each other, their faces aflame. Lo, the day of the Lord comes, cruel and with wrath and burning anger, to lay waste the land and destroy the sinners within it. Okay, here you go. God is saying, okay, for somebody, He will give you everything that you desire, everything you want, everything you need. But stop being mean, okay? Okay, I feel like I almost feel like, like I try not to be mean. Me personally, I really try not to be mean. And see, sometimes I just feel like, not to say that you're being mean and not to say that I'm being mean, but I just feel like with this message, God is saying that, you have to really pay attention to your actions, okay? God says, I have commanded my dedicated soldiers. I have summoned my warriors, eager and bold to carry out my anger. So, if you are somebody that is fighting for God, you somebody that's riding for God, you are in God's army, you do carry this, like, this vibe. You may have this presence of you. And I just hear God saying, like, telling me right now that sometimes when you are mad or when you are angry, you feel like you aren't coming off the way that you're coming off. You may feel as though you're just saying something in a calm manner. And when people hear what you say, because you have that I don't know, like, y'all know what I mean. Like, you had that that God gave you to say what you have to say. It may sound worse than what it is. And I literally just said this, that sometimes when women are talking about their wants, their needs, and problems that they have, it's kind of hard to not come off as being a B word, okay? And even as a boss, I learned this. Sometimes like when you're on a set or when you're doing professional things in a professional setting, and you are the person that, not to say you're being catered to, but when you are like a model and you're telling someone, I want my makeup like this, I want my hair like this, and you need to do this and you need to do that, I don't like that. It's kind of like, even as a woman at the nail shop, like, for real, even as a woman at the nail shop, when you're getting your nails done and the nail tech, is trying to cut it too low, and you say, no, I want it shorter than that. Or no, I don't. I don't like how you filed that out. I need you to redo that. I have had so many times when I have been at the nail shop getting my nails done, and I'm very quiet. Like, I don't want to say because y'all may not know, but I'm very quiet. I'm a very quiet person. So typically, I go to the nail shop. I say I want a full set. I want long in length, like as long as you can possibly get it, and I want my nails square. Okay, and that's just how I am. I'm old school. Okay, I'm old school at this point. Okay, 31. I'm old school. But anyways, I like my nails long, super long, and square nails. That is like what I have been getting my nails done low key since I was in high school. Okay. Anyways, it's just like sometimes when you're correcting people and you have started off being very quiet, very sweet and very kind, and you have to correct someone, they can look at you and be like, I can't believe you're saying this to me. Why are you being mean to me? Or why are you it's like it could come off as you're picking on them, and it's so hard when you're like me. I'm very soft spoken. I'm a very shy person. I'm a very kind person. So typically, I'm a real go with the flow type girl. I don't like arguing. I don't like confrontations. I don't like going back and forth with nobody. That don't mean that I won't fight, but I really prefer not to, because I am such a kind person. But I know at the same time, when I get mad, when I get upset, when I get angry, when I get irritated, I can turn. I don't want to say I turn into somebody else, but it's kind of like that. I'm angry, and then on top of that, I'm already who I am, and it's just like it adds extra emphasis on it. And I just feel like God is just saying, like, if I chose you to be a warrior in my army, you have to understand that I'm with you in everything you do and everything you say. So sometimes when you are just confused. Going back to the dream, I feel like both of the cats were confused. One cat just reacted to the confusion with anger and animosity and aggression. And the other cat reacted to the confusion by, you were actually able to see, like we could see that cat was confused. And God is saying, sometimes when you are giving off your emotions, sometimes when you are opening up your mouth and telling people how you feel, they assume that you are being aggressive and mean and angry towards them versus just being confused or trying to explain how you feel. And I'm gonna be honest, me personally, this is something that I have the hardest. It is so hard for me to explain how I feel. And I have learned over time that a lot of times when I tell someone that I don't like something, or I don't like how something is done, I don't like them treating me this way, please don't do that to me, I don't like this, I don't like that, people always assume that I'm being a B-word, okay? Nobody ever thinks, well, that is kind of mean to do that to her. I didn't think about how she felt. I didn't think, like, I wouldn't want nobody doing that to me. Nobody ever does that. Nobody ever thinks, oh, well, let me put myself in her shoes and try to see how she would feel, like how I would feel if I was her. Everybody always says, oh, she's just being mean. Oh, she's just being mean. Oh, she's doing this, she's that, she's this, she's that. And it's just like, but if I was to do the same thing to you, you wouldn't like it. And it's very frustrating. I know myself. I know that sometimes I come off aggressive when I'm not even trying to come off aggressive. Sometimes I'm trying to quietly, sweetly, calmly say my piece and just, get what I have to say off my chest, and I'm done with it. That's how I am. I say what I have to say. I'm done with it. I'm not going back to it. I'm not about to argue about it. I don't want to fight about it. I'm just saying how I feel. And a lot of times when I say how I feel, people react in a negative tone, regardless if they are reacting that way because they were trying to use me and they thought that I didn't notice what they were doing, or they thought that I didn't notice it. Because a lot of times, I'm going to be real, I let stuff slide. I let it slide. The first time, okay, maybe you did that on accident. Maybe you didn't mean to do that to me. Maybe you didn't notice what you were doing. I make up excuses for people. I try to come up with all kinds of reasons as to why somebody may have done something that they done. And I'm I'm the kind of person, I put myself in other people's shoes. So, I try to ignore it. And, sometimes the second time, depending on who you are, the third time, but the fourth time, fifth time, okay, I'm going to say something, because obviously either you don't realize that what you're doing is irritating me, or you just are not paying attention at all. And once again, I try to give the person a benefit of the doubt. And, that's when I say my piece. Depending on how they react, sometimes people are just like, okay, I'm sorry. I ain't mean to do you like that. And then some people will be like, they get aggressive and they get angry, and it just makes me feel like, okay, so were you doing that on purpose and you just thought I didn't notice? Or were you just assuming that I wouldn't say anything? Or like, what's up? You know what I'm saying? And I just feel like the message is, the whole point of the message, God is saying, understand that, sometimes you really have to work on it. Like, you really have to work on your anger. You really have to get your anger under control. Long story short, you have to get your anger under control. And this is something that, once again, your girl, I already talked about this on my channel, y'all. I've had so many problems with my anger in the past. I am still a work in progress. I be working on my anger still to this day. I try to stay as calm as possible, because All star. I remember chasing, like, y'all don't even understand, like, some of the things that I have done when I was younger, okay? That I have repented for those people that be trying to look for something, anything that they can try to convict me for. Yes, I have. I'm not perfect. Yes, I have, like, lived my life. I have done things that I'm not proud of, and I probably shouldn't have done. But when it come down to it, God touched me, God spoke to me, God convicted me, and I am who I am now because God saved me. But there was a time when your girl got into it with somebody and was running down the street chasing after the car. Like, I was like, come here. Get back over here. But God is saying, if you don't get your anger under control, your anger can cause you to cause your own destruction. Okay. And just like I said in the dream, both of the cats were going to get fed. But because one cat was so aggressive, and I know it's hard sometimes, because a lot of times when you harbor feelings and you keep your feelings bottled inside, and then it gets to the top, it's like you burst. And when you burst, it's like you are uncontrollably mad, and you're mad about everything that you were mad about. So now you're like at this point to where you're screaming and cussing and acting a fool, and you are like really showing to somebody, because, or whatever it is, because you have had all these things bottled up inside all this time. And I feel like, for one, God is saying that if you are feeling some kind of way, just like the one cat was confused, we obviously knew it was confused. Speak up. Okay, don't harbor it inside. Don't keep it bottled up inside for a long time, to the point that once you get to the point that you can't take it no more, you are like literally not only hurting other people's feelings, but you are making people want to run away from you. Because I know that's how I would feel if I think about, some of the things that I've done in my past, because I would bottle up my feelings. And, I probably ran some people away, because I would get, I would try not to say nothing. And I would try, because I don't want to hurt nobody's feelings. I don't want nobody's feelings to be hurt. I don't want nobody to be mad at me. I don't want nobody to feel no kind of way. I love for people to love me, and I love people back. You know what I'm saying? And when I love hard. And I just feel like God is saying that in the midst of all that, all that is good. It's always best to love others. It's always best to care for others. I'm so sorry that these flies, they driving me crazy. The door been open all day, so please don't judge me, y'all. Okay. Anyways, and your girl's not rich, so I you know what I'm saying. Don't judge me, y'all. But I just feel like God is saying, we have to get our anger under control, because when we are angry, it is amplified, and it is amplified to a point that it may make other people misjudge how we are truly feeling. If you are just, sometimes you could just be mad about something small and then you blow up about it, which is, that's something that, I would do. I feel like, I try not to, but, it's like, I softly say it so many times. I've got to the point to where I will softly say, please don't do this. Please stop doing that. I don't like it when you do that. Please stop doing that. And then, like, it gets to a point to where it's like the 20th time, and it's like, I'm yelling at this point because I've asked you nicely. I begged you. I was so sweet. I was so kind. And, it just kind of makes it into this whole thing that it doesn't need to be. So, you have to be careful, and like I said, y'all, this is something that I'm working on personally. Like, I'm really working very hard to try to keep my anger down and work on my communication skills. You know what I'm saying? That may even be something that I might need to, either regardless if I go to college or I try to find some kind of online class, because it's something I have a problem with. But, at the same time, I sometimes end up in this position where I'm like, okay, so if I don't say anything, now my feelings are hurt. And in some cases, it's a situation where someone is either taking or using something that I don't want them to use, or I end up with the bad end of the stick, or I end up in a messed up situation. And on the other hand, it's a situation where, I say something and now I'm looked at as this bad person, this awful person, this evil person that has done something so terrible, and I'm so mean. And it's just like, it's like a lose-lose situation, and, that's hard. That's hard to deal with, because, it's one thing, I try to get over it, and I try to be very nice, and I try to be easygoing, and I try to just, I'm like, as nice, y'all don't even understand how sweet, I'm sweet as pie. But it's some things that it gets to the point to, like, it's like you really deliberately trying to mess over me. Like, you're really doing this because I'm nice. You're doing this because, it's like, some people can get you to the point where it's like, you don't respect me. You don't care about me. You don't care about my feelings. You don't care about my emotions. And if you did, you wouldn't do what you did, because you would know that it will hurt my feelings or make me feel some kind of way. Especially if I've been asking you nicely not to do it for such and such amount of time. And then it gets to the point to where it's like, dang, I've been asking you and begging and pleading and begging and pleading and asking and begging and pleading, and you still just won't stop. And now I gotta scream, and now I'm the bad guy, because how dare I scream, and I'm all kind of names, and I'm this and I'm that. And at that point in time, it gets to the point where I don't care. Okay, you can call me whatever you want to, because I didn't ask you nicely. I didn't ask you nicely, and I asked you nicely again, and you ignored me. And now I gotta scream at you for you to understand what I said. But I just feel like God is saying, you gotta figure out a way, and I gotta figure out a way to not allow it to get to the point that you're screaming at someone about how you feel. Like, and honestly, this is something, once again, your girl's working on you with this, because I gotta figure it out. Sometimes it's very frustrating when it doesn't work nicely, because I try not to be so firm, because I know that when I'm firm and when I'm serious, and when I have my serious demeanor going on, sometimes I look or seem aggressive. Okay. And I want to say it's because I'm a Houston native, but I hear guys saying Houston native, but I'm not trying to say it's because I'm a Houston native, but I do have my demeanor. And it's not, sometimes I can come off a little aggressive. I'm not trying to come off aggressive. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not trying to be rough. Your girl is from Brazewood, okay? And functioning in Brazewood, and your girl can sometimes come off a little, like, serious, like, nah, I mean what I mean. I said what I said. But I don't be trying to be that way. And it's like, I'm serious, so I want my point to get across that I'm serious, but at the same time, it's not to a point to where I'm trying to be mean. I'm trying to be like, a hater, or somebody that's being aggressive, or somebody that's trying to be controlling, because I'm really not a controlling person. I'm a real fallback type person. I'm really laid back. But you know, it's just hard to find that median, and that's what I really need to get. Okay, and this video helped me tremendously. I pray that it helps you as well. I love you guys so much, and I hope that y'all do not judge me for wearing my bonnet. Okay, I just got out the shower. I still haven't took my bonnet off. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you to everybody that donates. I love you guys to bits and pieces. Y'all help your girl tremendously. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you later. Deuces.